Very good. One of the many great things that's taking place here, I think, is that they're making the game more accessible to children who may not otherwise have had a chance to learn golf. As you know, making the game more affordable and accessible to kids of all economic backgrounds is a major challenge facing the sport. What are some things you think we, as an industry, can do to meet this challenge?
Well, first of all, there got to be a few more public golf courses built and facilities like this, secondly. And thirdly, you should approach golf clubs, because golf clubs are not busy all the time, and find out the times when they're not busy, because every golf club has certain times. And if we can arrange with the schools, those that are interested in golf, to have the opportunity to just use those facilities, even if it's just once every week or every 2 weeks, would make a very big difference. And I think that, it's got to, most of the stuff has got to come from parents. We're always saying, and schools play a vital role. I mean, I know at the school that I went to in South Africa, I had to stand up when the teacher came in the classroom. And she'd say good morning, and I'd have to say good morning, sir, good morning, ma'am. And they'd ask me how I was, and I never said just good. I said, fine, thank you, sir. How are you? Or fine, thank you, ma'am. How are you? I was taught to respond. And so I think all these things that are teaching the kids discipline, because you cannot be a success in any walk of life unless you have discipline. It's impossible unless you inherit the money, and then you're going to blow it anyway. You're going to have a good time while you do it.
So you mentioned earlier that you and I and Steve McCracken actually had the chance to go down to Washington, D.C. the last few years and meet with members of Congress and stress the importance of physical education in schools. And I'll tell you, you've never lived until you've seen Mr. Player do one-handed push-ups inside the Capitol Dome in front of the Senate Finance Committee. That's a true story. How important is it for our society to engage our youth in fitness and nutrition?
Well, you are what you eat. You are what you eat. And I don't see how a healthcare system can survive if we don't find, and this I put a lot of study into this as much as I put into golf, if we don't find a cure for diabetes other than insulin, America in 50 years' time will have 100 million diabetics. My son is a type 1, and he got it as a virus. Very strong guy, didn't get it through eating. Takes that needle a day. If he has a cookie, or if he has a cool drink, he's in serious trouble. He takes that needle 5 times a day in his body. 5 times a day. That's what should be taken to the schools, to show them what it's like if you get diabetes. If you think in this room here, 1 out of every 3 is going to get cancer. Think about it. 1 out of every 3 in this room makes you think. Don't wait until you get it. Try and do something before you get it. Exercise and try and eat properly. And so, I don't know, I just felt going up to Capitol Hill, I felt it was a waste of time. Because those senators and those congressmen, they're worried about their constituencies, how many votes they're going to get, how can we take money out of schools. That's what they all say. We're trying to take money out of school. It was like talking to that wall. And I don't want to go back there. I don't want to go back and do that. There's a new thing they've got now, coaches across America. And it's sponsored by Mercedes-Benz. They've already, for a start, I've got 240 coaches around the United States getting these young people to participate in sports and realize that your body is a holy temple. And that's what we need. I've always believed that advertising in a magazine, to me, is a waste of time. If I was a big company, I wouldn't put a penny into advertising in a magazine, because people, there's so many ads, they just look over and over and over. How often do they sit there and study and look at it? But there's no substitute for personal contact. That's the secret to life. Personal contact. We've got to do things where there's personal contact. And that's why golf companies, big companies are hiring sportsmen. Sport can change the world. Sport is beginning to change the world. Tremendously so. And we've got to get people to go out and actually be with the kids like you're doing here. You're with the kids. You're developing and molding their characters. And that's what's happening now with coaches across America. That to me is a far greater system than going there and talking to people and asking and begging to put some money into the schools.